Greetings friends, Steven here, and welcome to episode 20 of Gamer Hall, my very own YouTube video game pickup series. So today's backdrop item is, for no particular reason really, it is Castlevania Lords of Shadow for the PS3. This is the Collector's Edition. I've been playing a lot of the 3DS version of the game, which made me want to dig this up, and I never really got around to beating this game. I got to the first quote-unquote Colossus boss fight, and I really didn't like the way they did that, so I kind of just lost interest at that point. But after playing the 3DS game, I might just give this one another chance. We'll see. I keep telling myself I will do a review for the 3DS Castlevania game, so hopefully stay tuned for that if I find the time and the energy, yada yada yada. So just leave that in the background, and let's see what we got here. I've got some eBay items that I bought. I've got, yeah, just the eBay items, and at my local, well, at all eBay games and GameStop, they were doing this big spring cleaning sale, so I'll show you what I got from that. But I'll start with a 4-pack of games I got from eBay. They're actual fighting games. I'm going to start off with Super Street Fighter 2 from Capcom. I was quite impressed with the quality of all 4 of these games. They're all in really good shape. And I believe I got all 4 of them, not including shipping, for about $15, so that's pretty decent. So throw that in there, follow that up with a Yu Yu Hakusho game. This one's by Namco, or Namcot as it's often called in Japan. Of course, this one was by Capcom. Yu Yu Hakusho, once again, fighting game. Street Fighter, same sort of side-scrolling fighting game, in pretty good shape. Second in the series, apparently. Next we've got a Ranma 1/2 game. I'm not quite sure what the specific title is. I'm seeing Ranma Nibunoichi, made by, I don't even know what that is. Masam? M-A-S-N-Y-A, or I don't know. Looks like it came out in 1992. Once again, in pretty good shape. And arguably the one I'm looking forward to trying out the most is this Gundam, G-Gundam game. There's a Gundam Wing Super Famicom game that's actually pretty darn cool, and I've been looking to pick that up at some point. But I do have that bad habit of just buying a bunch of cheaper games, and although I never saw the G-Gundam series, you know, this picture looks pretty cool. And I'm definitely looking forward to giving this one a shot. Hopefully I'll get some footage of that to add to the channel here. And next one I have, this I bought just for the oddity of it all. Now we all remember the Super Game Boy, which plays your Game Boy carts. Just pop that in there and put this into the Super Nintendo and off you go playing Game Boy games. Well, that's what this next item reminds me of. It's I don't even know what I'm seeing here. I know it's by Hudson Soft, and we'll just call it Same Game for now because that's the only English I can see. And this is the Hudson Soft version, but I know there's a Nintendo version as well. And as you can see here, it sort of focuses on Hudson Soft characters like we got Bonk and Bomberman here, that Wonder Project kid, not quite sure what the fish guy is, and Momotaro Densetsu. As you can see, this is pretty much complete in box. Looks like it's a puzzle game. I did look up a couple videos of the Nintendo version of this, and it looks like, I guess kind of like a Tetris-y sort of game, so I'll definitely be getting some footage of this later. But I just wanted to show off this cart here. Look at this. See what I mean? You see the similarities? And it's got a little, like a ram cart thing on the top here. So I think the Nintendo character version, you can switch that between the 2 carts here. So I don't know a whole lot about it, but as you can see, it's pretty neat, neat curiosity, if you will. It's got all the little pamphlets and books and all that. This one, little poster that shows off the multi-tap that was in the shape of Bomberman's head. That's pretty cool. And instructions are a bit crumpled at the bottom. That's pretty good for all things considered. See, it comes out of there. And it looks like it even mentions the Satellaview, so hopefully I can run this on just a Super Famicom without it needing to connect to a modem or whatever. However that worked. Yeah. Interesting. This, I doubt I paid very much for it at all either. Probably like 5, 10, 15 bucks. Something around there, knowing me. Alright, next up I'm going to go through the spring cleaning sale games I picked up at EB Games, and there's a few to go through, so let's get started. I'm going to start off with Golden Sun, Dark Sun. Looks like this, it's in the wrapping, but the wrapping is open on the bottom, so that's kind of weird. But it is, of course, a new game. Golden Sun, let me just check my receipts here. It looks like I paid about 10 bucks for this one. That's not bad for what is Nintendo RPG. People all loved the Golden Sun on the Game Boy Advance, but I never got to play any of them. So hopefully this one's worth the 10 bucks. I mean, come on though, right? For an RPG, that's usually pretty good price. Next up we have, how much was this one? Blah blah blah. A buck. For $1 we got the game Labyrinth. This, there's a Super Nintendo game called On the Ball. That's what this looks an awful lot like, so it might even just be a port of that game. I don't know, as you can see I haven't opened it yet. Busy guy and all that, but when you're picking up, like I think the total count of games I'm showing here today is what, 22? So when you're picking up 22 games at a time, you're not going to have time to play through all of them all at once. Next one up, a very cool game, surprisingly cheap, is WarioWare Do-It-Yourself, or DIY, $4.99 new. This is a very cool game if you've always wanted to try making your own little game, but you had no idea how to do it. This is a good place to start. I actually have this game already, so I'll probably just be trading this out. But, you know, Nintendo's like any Nintendo game's usually pretty expensive. Until they just end up super cheap, I guess. Just trying to get rid of it, make way for new games and all that. Definitely recommend that one if you can find it, and this one as well, Chibi-Robo Park Patrol for $2.99. The original Chibi-Robo was on the GameCube. This one I like more than the GameCube version. This I have as well, so once again this will probably just be traded out. Pretty decent game. Definitely give that a shot, especially if you can get it for $3, right? Next up, Pipe Mania. Yeah, kind of a scrub game, but I always like these, like, remember in Bioshock there was that hacking game or whatever where you have to move the pipes around and make sure that the water or whatever goes from one entrance to one exit? It's like that, but that's the whole game. I always like those kind of mini games, and this is a set of those, Pipe Mania. That one cost $1 apparently. Not too bad. Then we're just getting into the weirder and obscure games. We got Pray the Stars. I don't even know what's going on in this one. It's by what? Koei? No kidding. Pray the Stars, $2. That's crazy. It might be fun, I don't know. Glory of Heracles, or Hercules, but I'm pretty sure it's Heracles. Once again, I think this is a Nintendo-made RPG for the DS. Yep, you get the drill. It's like a, I'm guessing, classic Greek, Roman sort of gods fighting people, yada yada yada. And that one, how much did I pay for that one? Couldn't have been very much. Through my receipts off camera here. I didn't even see the price on it. Oh, there you go, $5. Damn, that's a pretty good deal. Most of these are pretty good deals. Next up, this I got actually just before this whole sale started, is Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars on the DS. This was $7.99. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. It's got the vintage, like, Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 sort of camera angles. But it is on the DS, and yeah, should be neat. Try this out. It's pretty funny to see the whole Grand Theft Auto map and all that coming out of a DS game. This one was used and arguably a bit more expensive than the rest of these, but I'm sure it's worth it. I'll know someday if I ever get around to playing it. Next up is a game I actually did start playing. It is From the Abyss. That's a buck, yes. This is kind of like Secret of Mana, but from what I've been hearing, all the levels are randomly generated. Almost like a roguelike in that regard. It is, there's actually From the Abyss spin-off games on the 3DS eShop, which kind of got me wondering about this one. And yeah, it's basically like Secret of Mana style fighting, so if you like that game, and I'm sure most of us do, you might want to give this one a shot, especially if you buy it for $1. Nice. Next up, we've got for a whole $2, Magical Starshine, yet another RPG for the DS. See what I said? This is a pretty good sale we got here. Like, I think the most expensive game here was like $10 or something. Pretty good. Most of these are just $1 or $2. Kind of cleaned out their selection a bit, as you can see. Speaking of Mana, this has the same art as the Legend of Mana, and I believe this was made by Brownie Brown and distributed by Nintendo. Heard good things. Well, I've heard good to so things about that game. I don't know yet. I think I'll probably be reselling this one as well because I own this as well. Another game I actually have already, but this one's actually in better shape, so I might trade out my original. This is the Legendary Starfy. This is done by HAL Labs, I believe, who are the folks who did the Kirby series. And yeah, from what I've played of this game, it was pretty neat. There's a game also on PC, indie game Ika-chan. This is kind of like Ika-chan. Of course, it's much more work put into this one. And it's a much longer game too, of course. If you've ever played Ika-chan, it's about the size of a really long demo. So, this was $10 used. That's pretty good. Oh, next up, Death Jr. by Konami. Death Jr. and the Science Fair of Doom for $1. Now, I'm kind of worried because this looks to be one of those 3D games on the DS, and the 3D games on the DS weren't all that good looking, but, you know, once again, it's $1. I've always wanted to try one of the Death Jr. games, and, you know, for $1, let's give it a go. Oh, man, there's more. More games coming. Treasure World by Athpure for $4.99. This game, as I recall, it's kind of like a precursor to the Street Pass, where you just sort of walk around with it, and it just picks up random information through the air, and it just adds those signals, those Wi-Fi signals to your game to give you a bunch of new items for your character. Animal Crossing style. $5. I always wanted to try it. I remember reading about it back when it came out. So there it is in the collection here. Next up, Classic Action Devilish by UFO. DS game. Couldn't have been much at all, because normally I wouldn't buy this one. Well, actually, I don't know. It might be a good game. It looks like a Arkanoid kind of style game. Ball and paddle sort of style. Looks like it was $1. Sure, I'll give it a shot for $1. And we only got 3 games left here, and now we're getting to more recent titles. Although, we actually got a couple launch titles next up. We've got Steel Diver for the 3DS. Ugh, it's one of those games where you always see and you're like, oh boy, it's Steel Diver again. But this was, what, $5, and that's pretty good for most 3DS games, so definitely I'm looking forward to giving this a shot. I don't see any Street Pass features or anything, but I know you can move your 3DS itself around, and it's like using the periscope, so that's pretty neat. I will let you guys know what I think of this at some point. Next up, we have another game that I have started playing. It is Pilot Wings Resort. Once again, $5. This is a pretty fun game. The 3D isn't quite as good as current games, but the game itself I recommend it, especially once again for $5. It's a fun, you know, casual little fly around an island. It's that same Maha Woohoo Island that came from the, well, this came first, but you can actually race around this island in a couple tracks in Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS, which is kind of a neat little crossover idea they did there. So yeah, Pilot Wings Resort, definitely I recommend that one for $5. And my last game that I also got for $5 from the EB Games Spring Cleaning Sale. Maybe the best game in the series, well, in this bunch, maybe not, I don't know, I haven't even opened it yet. Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Wii, $5 new. It's still in the shrink wrap. Now, if you've been a fan of my channel here, you'll know that I'm not a big fan of the Wii, mostly because the controller, the Wiimote, takes AA batteries, which is just a god-awful idea. Especially when you've had experience with the controller here on the PS3, where it's like, I've never even seen the battery. it's just in there. You just plug it in USB port, it charges, and off you go. It's brilliant. And then we got the Wii with its silly little Wiimote and its batteries, double A's. Come on, what year is this, Nintendo? Get with it. I'm hoping, I don't know, but I'm hoping that the Wii U controllers don't have batteries and they have rechargeables like the PS3 controller here did. Hoping for Nintendo's sake, because really, they need all the help they can get these days. Alright, well, I guess that about does it for another stack of games. If you've been wondering why I don't have a new PC yet, this is a pretty good reason why. So, there you have it. Once again, stay tuned to my channel. In less than a month, we've got Fan Expo Vancouver, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting a bunch of footage for that one. And yeah, I've still got footage from, TsukinoCon, from that Papo and Yo interview I checked out, and much more I gotta get around to putting together. Ugh, you know how it is when you're a busy guy, though. Working a full-time job and all that stuff. But we get it done one day at a time. Alright, dudes, thanks again for watching. Looks like we've almost got a 20-minute video here, so I'll probably end it now. So, thanks for watching. See you guys soon.